got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops.
Okay guys, today we are going to discuss Harvard Business School case study 1 about AirAsia flying low cost with high hope. In this case, we have 4 questions to discuss about. The first one is about the trend in the global airline study. So what you guys thinking about this question?
Many trends that we can see in website. One of that is LCC. LCC is low cost carrier that we can see many airlines using this method for today. Before LCC, many passengers buy ticket. The ticket is including the seat, the food, and then the baggage. But using this method, passenger can buy ticket spread with food, baggage, and many more, so that we can buy the ticket more cheap before. And then trends number 2 is online ticketing. Online ticketing that we can buy ticket from website or mobile apps. We can pay it with debit or credit card, and then airlines can save money from the ticket fee. So people just see the show the apps in airport. That redesign the brand. So many airlines redesign brand to benefit the passenger. They design the cabins for more bigger, and then they design the seat more slim, so that passenger cannot buy the baggage.
According to me, there are 5 points in the trends of global airline industry. The first one is increasing travel demand. The second one is airline supplier consolidation. The third one is environmentally responsible aviation. The fourth one is more incentive trips. And the fifth is onion challenge. The first one is increasing travel demand. As we know, there is 2 of the top 6 United States airlines saw their best traffic result in 18 months this past November, while Southwest recorded a 12% increase. Continental registered a 2.8% increase, respectively, and miles flown per passenger. And these figures represent solid increases in warm bodies flown, a more reliable metric than passenger load factor. And the second one is airline supplier consolidation. As airlines improve service while implementing aggressive pricing strategies, many plan to forge new links with distributors, including travel management agencies that don't rely on the traditional GDS connection. I think this one is good news not just for airlines and hotels, but also for business further downstream such as TMCs, car rental companies, and restaurants, or to name a few. According to the United States Travel Association, incentive trips make the for some business and jobs, such as meeting and even account for 15% of all travel spending which trips, an estimated 2.4 million jobs.
And the next about the second question about comment on the business level strategy adopted by AirAsia. How has AirAsia achieved cost leadership or differentiation? So, how about this question? Okay.
In my opinion, the business level strategy adopted by AirAsia is a cost leadership strategy that targets markets such as domestic and international flights, short haul or regional flights, and long haul regional service, and selling their service below the average industry price to gain market alone. Beyond competing on price, AirAsia also introduced value and added service such as ticketing, travel, and free seating policy. Under the gate of offering more choice to customers, there are also more monetized services that were previously taken to check-in service that allowing the passengers to print their own boarding pass.
Okay, for the third question is referring to Porter's model of the 5 forms of competition, is the above strategy suitable for AirAsia to achieve a better position in the industry? What are the risks of using the strategy?
According to the article, firstly, the bargaining power of supplier AirAsia is strong. Full supplies and airplane maintenance materials are critical, and price increase threaten the operational viability of AirAsia. And the second, the bargaining power of customer is strong too. Its unavailability of choices mean there is no switching cost for the customer who intends to switch from the airlines to another. So, given its first mover advantage, cost leadership remains a viable strategy for AirAsia to maintain its leadership position in the budget airline industry. The key is for AirAsia to strengthen the other aspects of its positioning, such as convenience and integrated lifestyle package, apart from just focusing on cost, so as not to be caught off guard when escalating costs render it unable to continue to sustain its low cost leadership position. It also has to leverage on its existing wide reach of its brand name to monetize more areas of its service.
And then for the last question is about identify the ways AirAsia can sustain its competitiveness through the business level strategy it has adopted. So, how about this question?
Okay, they keep stabilizing on the operational activities like ticketing or etc. And keep the low price of their tickets, as we know, this is their main mission. Their main mission is to be the largest low-cost airline in Asia. So they create their own new market. They create their blue ocean market, I think, because they want to make a difference. So they win and they succeed along its competitors. So the customers is lost to buy their ticket because the price is low. And I can say that is they expand the focus area to maintain other products like food selling, good selling in the plane. And moreover, they keep on larger flights by utilize their networking and brand. So they have, I can say that they have effectiveness marketing strategy.
I want to add the additional for this case. AirAsia built and sustained its competitive advantage by providing service at a price that is simply lower than competitors' price. It's as well. And the operation effectiveness and outstanding efficiency are two main characteristics of low-cost business, including AirAsia. And the central objective is to achieve bigger cost advantage than the rivals by continuously searching areas for cost reduction along its value chain. And by further analyzing AirAsia's value chain, one can actually determine how AirAsia creates cost advantage along its value chain. And the appendix to summarize the search of cost advantage contributable to the low-cost business model for each activity in AirAsia's value chain. And this cost advantage constitutes AirAsia's order winner in competing with its rivals, as they enable AirAsia to provide the lowest possible price to the price-sensitive customer. And in LCC industry, cost is the competitive priority and it determines market position. And I think that's all.
So you guys say that what they earn less in the air ticket price, they can recover from the downstream package sales, right? Developing such cost advantage enable AirAsia to provide the lowest possible price and make them as a leadership position in the budget airlines industry.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, a cost leadership strategy means competition and rivalry among the budget airline is high, and the ability to differentiate from other providers is more limited due to the nature of the industry and the product.
So guys, from our discussion today, what we can learn from this case study?
Based on this case, we can know how AirAsia gained their advantages from their low-cost price ticket. And also we can learn about how a business strategy give a high impact to the implementation of a business, as well as they also have the main thing to differentiate with other companies.
And also, absolutely, we can know about business model, a representation of how an organization makes money.
I can get from this case study is airline teach us how to get the profit with brilliant ideas different from their competitor without decrease their quality.
Agreed. And we can learn that how they keep sustain between their competitors is they keep maintain their effectiveness of their operational and the budget on their activity in the internal company.